We are ELA 7th grade, so I could do period 2 or 3 for this. It doesn't really matter. It's the same curriculum. Let's do period 3. Now, if you recall from last week under classwork, there was a few things that were due, a few things that we have started. So let's click that. I have it organized by weeks. We finished week 2, but there's still a few things due. Remember, on Monday, your FAST assessment is due on the 14th. But let's click on Amplify. So these opening lessons will be due on Tuesday the 15th. So click on this, and we began this. There was a little bit of confusion, though, I know, about accessing Clever, getting to Amplify. Totally understandable. First 2 weeks of school is a lot of sort of login issues. Got it. No big deal. So what I've done now is I put 2 options to get to Amplify. There is the way to go directly through Clever. So hopefully most of you have logged on to Clever at this point, so it automatically takes you to your Clever main page. So let's do that first, and then we'll go back and go in through Amplify. So just a reminder, you hit Clever, and I will always post these links for every weekly list of assignments for Amplify. So once you're in Clever, it should take you to your student page, and you can scroll down. You can find Amplify, click on it, and bam, it takes you. It's a little slow to load, but don't worry. It takes you to the Amplify ELA California page. Okay, let's jump back to the classroom, and I want to show you what happens when you click Login to Amplify. Same kind of thing, just a different way to do it. Another option, if it's more comfortable for you, click on that. It should take you there, or it might take you to a screen that says login through Google, login through Clever. So there's multiple ways to get to where we are. So hopefully that will be more helpful in the future. So I'm going to close this extra Amplify toolbar, and let's explore this Amplify page. Okay, so for this class, we are going to be doing 7A, Red Scarf Girl and Narrative. That's what I want you to remember, and that's what we'll always return to for the next, 6 to 7 weeks. So just a reminder, we are doing Amplify ELA, English Language Arts California Edition. That will always be on top here. And then the little subunit here will always be there on top too, in case you get confused, in case you get lost. But if you want to start at the very, very beginning too, you can hit this thing called the hamburger menu. Click this and go down. It should have your name, your account, ELA California. So remember, if you ever get confused or lost, we are always doing ELA California. So let's start at the very, very beginning here. All right, Red Scarf Girl and Narrative, Subunit 2, Lesson 1. Let's click on all units just as a refresher to make sure that we again know where we are. Amplify ELA, 7th grade, that's us. Red Scarf Girl and Narrative. Let's click that. This will take us to our lessons. So as I mentioned last week, we're going to skip subunit 1. So if you go back to the classroom page, so it kind of helps to have these 2 tabs open on top to bookmark them. You can bookmark them here with the star. There's a bookmark tab on top here. So I like to have these right next to each other. So on the classwork page, it also says Subunit 2, Lesson 1, and it tells you the numbered activities that you will be handing in for a grade. Now, not all of these are individual hand-in activities. The ones that are listed here. So jump back to Amplify, Subunit 2, Lesson 1. This is exactly what it says under classwork. Subunit 2, Lesson 1. And then there's different activities. So my page will look a little bit different from yours because I'm the teacher. So I'll have things that say teacher, teacher, and then you will have the same toolbar here, but you'll have the numbered activities. So really get used to and get comfortable with using this top toolbar here. Here's the arrow. You can use the cursor to click on that. This will take you through the numbered activities, and you can just turn in and hand in the ones that are listed under classwork. And the other ones will be group stuff that hopefully we'll have time to do in class. All right, so just let's do a little refresher on how to do the activities. So we'll always start each of the lesson activities with vocabulary. We'll show you a video. We showed you a video on the word tantalizing. So down here, you'll have a question which asks you which sentence uses the word tantalizing correctly. There'll be a hand in button at the bottom, right there, hand in. So once you finish an assignment, an activity in Amplify, click until you see the hand in button and click on that, but only click on that when you're finished. Then you can scroll to the top here. So let's check out activity number 2. Now if you notice, this says group on top. Group is indicated by these 3 people here. If it's individual, it's just one person. So this will be something that we can do as a class. So we want to get used to exploring the Amplify library. It's quite extensive. There's a lot of books, a lot of great books, and it's all for you to use. It's all for you to read if you like. It's very helpful. It's quite a resource. So let's scroll down. Here's a group assignment, a scavenger hunt activity that we can do as a class. It's going to ask you to go to the library to come up with some book titles. So you might ask, how do I get to the library when I'm on this activity? Good question. I'm going to show you. So go back up here to the hamburger menu. It's also called the global navigation menu. Click on that. Scroll down to where it says library. Click that. Now you see what just happened. It opened up a new tab for your library. So then you could jump back and forth between tabs, which will make your life a lot easier. So feel free to explore the library, and we'll return to this library quite a few times this year. On top, you can explore books by genre. If you like fiction, you like adventure, nonfiction, plays, poetry, reference. There's a lot here, and I'm excited to explore it along with you all. There's also lists there, or you can just explore it like this and see what you come up with. There's also arrows on the side here. So it scrolls like that, kind of like on Netflix. There's some classic books here that I've read when I was your age. Like A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, Bridge to Terabithia. It's one of my favorite books of all time. So feel free to check this out. Get comfortable with it. Explore. Find books you might not have heard of or funny titles. Excuse me. And then let's go back. Let's go back to our main tab here. All right. So hopefully that makes sense, how you can jump from the library tab. It'll say e-reader on top to the main Amplify tab, which usually says apps.learning. So as a class, we'll do a little assignment with this, and then you can hand it in. I'll talk about that in class. Another group activity here. This is both individual and group. Poll, how does fish taste? Be prepared to provide 2 details from your experience eating fish that would support your answer. So you can pick one of these, but once you do, you have to be comfortable defending your answer. There's a hand in button at the bottom. Scroll back up, click on 4. This kind of asks you a little bit more to expand, right, with your writing. What was the last food you ate that was really disgusting? Think back to the time when you're eating this food and write down 3 details, observations about what made the food so disgusting. So 3 details can be short or long. It's up to you. Just make sure that they are true, real life descriptions, real life words. Then hand those in. This will be another class activity. We'll be discussing this image of this person who seems very disgusted or sick or nauseous. And you notice there's not really a hand in button for that, so that's just more of a discussion. And then 6, another individual activity. Students photograph faces of disgust and note physical details to convey disgust in their writing. Okay. So hopefully we'll have time for this in class. Picture the most disgusting food you ever tasted. Did you spit it out? Did you try to swallow it? Hit next on the bottom. So a lot of these opening activities in Amplify are about details, adding specific words to show feelings, to show emotions, to show thoughts. So it's going to ask you to list those here, then hand in button. So don't worry about being long or short in your writing. Just worry about using the words that are true to how you feel, to your point of view. That's what we are focusing on in these first lessons in Amplify. Then we'll do a writing assignment. And again, these descriptions are on top. Students use the precise observations they've identified to convey, to share, to express their disgusted point of view. And we'll talk about this in class, but for writing, for the longer writing, you'll have at least 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes to produce at least 100 words. And again, don't worry about, being perfect in your writing. Don't worry about those kinds of things. It's just a way to get us to start writing, thinking about using the right words. Here's some rules for writing. Here are the writing prompts. And then here's a sort of grouping of words that might give you some inspiration. And finally, the hand in button. So when in doubt, do the best you can and only hand in when you feel like you're done. So don't hand in things too early. And then you can scroll back to the top. And then finally, we always end with an optional, hopefully, class share. A little harder within the Zoom classroom, but I think we'll make it happen. And we'll slowly get more comfortable sharing things together. So that's just a brief walkthrough. It's really important for you to explore this on your own. So you get comfortable with this toolbar up here and to get comfortable reading through the assignments, seeing which ones are individual. Again, individual will have a little person, one person group, multiple people. So hopefully that will make sense, and we'll talk about this in class, and you can use this video. So thank you for listening, and I will see you in class. Bye.